Hi everybody, Derek Zan here. So we have had a very difficult week this week, and so we're a little behind. And I'm actually not feeling too well today either. Let me fill you in on what's been going on. So this past week, baby Audrielle got really sick. That's our little 8 months this month old daughter, and she was just like vomiting, projectile vomiting, and any parent who's seen their child do that knows that it's probably one of the scariest things that you can experience if it's the first time you've ever seen it. And she seemed fine. I mean, I had just seen her; she was sleeping, had her hand on Mama's face like she normally does, and she seemed totally happy. Come the following day, I go to pick her up, and I lift her up, and she just blah all over my new favorite Superman shirt. And the thing that alarmed me though is that she started crying after it happened. So we gave it a little while to see if she'd get better. We tried feeding her, tried giving her liquids and stuff like that. And what was happening was after every feeding, she continued to vomit. So she wasn't holding any food down, and she was getting more and more agitated, and that's what told us that we needed to take her into the ER. So it was a cold night. We wrapped her up in her teddy outfit and took her into the ER. And they saw us, and she was there with Mama. Doctor took a look at her and did the stethoscope thing and said that her lungs were fine, and they looked in her ear and nose and everything was fine, and they ran some tests, and they took a urine sample, and everything seemed okay. So she didn't have a virus or anything like that, but there was clearly a reaction, some kind of reaction. They said maybe a bacterial thing, I don't know. But they gave her a single medication that's supposed to help with vomiting, and then they gave her lots of Pedialyte, and whatever that was, I'm sorry, I don't know the name of that medication right now, but it solved the problem. She was totally fine after that, and we were grateful. But what was really cool about it was this group of kids came in, and obviously it was a long night, very long night for us. We've been in the ER for most of the morning, and baby Audrielle hadn't really smiled much that morning, let alone laugh, no laughter. And this group of kids, I'm not going to say where they were from because internet, obviously, but they were called the GRAR Up Ambassadors. I'll give you that much. GRAR Up Ambassadors, and they were 8th graders. They came in to the ER and they were giving out Christmas presents. I mean, they had like the bag of presents just like Santa would, and they walked into our room, and they handed her this white reindeer, this stuffed reindeer. And she looked at it, and she just had this first, it was interest, like, oh, what is this? And we saw her slowly come to life again, and that was right after her first successful feeding. So she had eaten and hadn't thrown up, and then in comes this reindeer, and she's just like looking at it and smiling and like, look at this. And then she looks at us like, do you see this? Like, she was so amazed by that thing. And I mean, any of y'all out there as parents know, to see your child go through pain, it hurts your soul, it hurts you deep down, and then to see the joy come. So we felt so grateful to these bright young kids who were clearly on the right path, on the path for success. So thank you to you kids out there for your hard work and for your big hearts. We appreciate you. We just wanted you to know that was a big thing that y'all did. So moving on, everything's fine. We leave from the ER the next day. Baby's totally fine. She's keeping down food. She's happy, back to her old self. Will not put that stuffed reindeer down. It is her favorite toy for the next 24 hours straight. Then come the following day. It's our turn, apparently. And again, she didn't have a stomach virus or anything like that, but you wouldn't know it because my wife and I ended up getting sick to our stomachs as well. Call it sympathy pains, I don't know. I think it was food poisoning, honestly, and we got it from only one thing that we ate that was different, that we'd never eaten before. We hadn't had much that day because we were so focused on the baby, but we did have these pizzas that we got called Daya, and we got them from Walmart Market. And they, even though they have things on the label like meatless meat lovers and dairy-free cheese, I mean, they don't say vegan anywhere on there. Now, to me, that's a red flag, because usually when you have like a cheese that's a vegan product cheese, it's replaced with something like potato, like the potato cheese, or other vegetable, natural plant products. But I don't know, it just said dairy-free cheese. So, like I said, I haven't checked the ingredients, but I will tell you that this cheese didn't melt, which was weird, even though we baked it in the oven. It just kind of was like, it had the consistency of melted plastic, where it would kind of pull a little bit, but it wouldn't spread. And the crust was literally the most like cardboard I have ever seen. I had to double check to make sure I didn't leave the cardboard underneath the pizza when I cooked it, and no, that was just it was actually just the crust. So it was terrible, it was awful. You know, personally from us to you, don't buy those, because we'd been sick for, this is the third day now, and I would say I'm about 90% better, 90% better. But man, it was talking about vomiting, you know, restroom, that kind of stuff, just upset stomach, you know, kidneys were hurting, that kind of stuff. So like super weak, couldn't get up, could barely lift our arms, that kind of bad food poisoning we've ever had. Thank God we were over it in under 3 days. So, but it was awful. I mean, we couldn't do anything. I didn't want to go outside, I didn't want to answer the phone, I didn't want to deal with my parents, nothing, nobody mattered. It was awful. So, where are we at now? Baby's okay, she's 100% happy, we're healthy, we're feeling better, almost 100%, and just in time for Christmas. Christmas is 3 days away. So that's it. Just wanted to let y'all know about our really difficult week. Did put us a little bit off schedule, but we're going to catch up again. And to all of y'all out there, I wish you a very healthy and happy Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.